Hello and welcome to the New England B2B Video Networking Show. My name is Kevin Willett. I am the chairman of the New England B2B Video Networking Group, and we appreciate you watching today. So I got my buddy with us, Hans. Hans is from Total College Advisory. We're going to talk a little bit about the college process today. Good afternoon, Hans.
Well, good afternoon, Kevin. It's great to see you.
So why don't we start right at the beginning? Tell me about Total College Advisory.
Okay, hey, Total College Advisory is my business. I'm in the business of being a national college advisor. National means that I've worked with students from every state in the country, and college advisor means I teach young people how to take ownership of their life through a college education.
So tell me what you're doing for high school seniors to help them.
Well, now it's an interesting time for high school seniors. The seniors I've been working with have all received a multiple number of acceptances, and they're revisiting their top 4 or 5 colleges. They're meeting with the admissions offices to see if they can get their scholarship increased. They're meeting with the financial aid office to see if they can improve the financial aid award. And they're also meeting with their impending Department of Studies to discuss possible majors and study paths.
Now, do you help the students select schools too?
Yes, we start at typically in 10th or 11th grade, matching colleges to the students' qualifications, interests, and needs, and teaching students how to be proactive in connecting with the colleges, engaging with the key decision makers, which are the admission office and the financial aid office, and for athletes, of course, the athletic offices.
I think that's important because, there's so many children you speak to and they have a goal of attending, an Ivy League school, for instance, but maybe they just don't have the academic background or the financial means to do that. So sometimes it sounds like it must be challenging when you have to have that talk with them saying, okay, I know this is what your goal may be, but this talk may be a little bit more realistic expectations.
Well, I call that the throwing darts at the dartboard, and we'd like to be on the dartboard. We don't want to be just randomly throwing darts and landing, on the wall. So on the dartboard means there's a focus. And yes, we have matches. And sure, we're going to have some schools in which might be a reach. But when you're in 9th, 10th, or 11th grade, if there's a school that's a reach and you like it enough, it might motivate the student to work harder in the classroom and work harder in their SAT. So I don't mind having some reach schools. It has to be somewhat realistic. It still has to be on the dartboard. You can't be looking at Harvard if you have a 3.0 GPA. That's not realistic. But if you have a 3.5 GPA, you could look at Northeastern. It's looking at for a 3.75 GPA. And if you like it enough, then you might work a little harder.
No, it makes sense. Now, the process ideally should be started in the 10th and 11th grade.
Well, you start building your qualifications in 9th grade, and so that's a good time to understand what qualifications colleges are looking for. And then by the time you're in 10th grade, you got to look at this process as a process in which you market yourself. So in 10th grade, you ought to build a personal marketing package and make a plan to use it. And making a plan to use it means use it to contact college admission offices and start to plan visits with the colleges. And that's what you can start to do between 10th and 11th grade. And when you can do that, you're connecting with the college. And when you connect with the college, then you just see yourself getting there. And again, it serves to motivate the students to work a little bit harder to get to where they want to get to.
So what do you see as the most common problem in the college planning process with families?
Well, probably the most common mistake families make, they're busy in their life. They know college is coming up. Hey, let's face it, Kevin. We know from a young age, when we have kids at a young age, we know college is coming up. It might be 10 years down the road or 5 years or 2 years, but we're aware of it. But what happens is too many families get very busy in their life and they don't want to think about it. So they put it off to the end. And when they put it off to the end, they leave college to a random selection process. And when you do that, you're bound to choose the wrong college. And when you do that, you're going to overpay for college. So that's the most common mistake. And probably the biggest mistake is the students show up on these college campuses and they're not ready to express themselves, and they're not ready to express their interests and their plans for college. And if you can't express yourself, then how do you expect the college to get behind you and behind your application and support you for scholarships and acceptances? So the biggest mistake is they're just not prepared. They show up on a college campus, but they're just not prepared to express themselves.
So what should they be doing for the preparation then? What's the biggest thing they can do?
The biggest preparation is to have some foresight and to start thinking, to put together a college list and have a plan to contact and connect with the colleges and get out and start to visit colleges and meet the people. And when you meet them, be ready to talk about what your passion is in life and your interests and desires. And no, we're not asking young people to know what jobs they want to do for the rest of their life. Yeah, that's not really feasible either. But we are asking people to identify a passion and desire for studies, and show up on a college campus and go meet these college officials and really engage them by showing some passion and desire for studies.
So if you could offer one piece of advice to a potential college student, what would it be?
Well, I get asked that a lot, and the thing that's really important for high school students is to recognize that they are creating their image, good, bad, or indifferent. They're creating their image, and they should be aware that they're creating an image and building their own brand, and that carries over into college, and then that carries over into life after college. So be aware of your image. Be aware that every time you meet people, it might be your next door neighbors, it might be your best friend's parents, it could be teachers in school. These are all relationships, and they're all taking note of who you are and what you're doing and how you're doing it, and it will affect your opportunities going down the road. So one simple thing, Kevin, I recommend to all my high school students, go get a business card. Create a business card. It doesn't cost anything to create one, and not that they need to carry around a business card, but it's the first time that they have an opportunity to decide upon style or colors, and then it's their first chance to actually look into, what image are they trying to create, and so it's a good point of awareness to get them started on that process.
Great. How do people get in touch with you to learn more?
Oh, Kevin, thanks for asking. First of all, my phone number is 203-470-3704. And my website is totalcollegeadvisory.com. And my email address is Hans, H-A-N-S, at totalcollegeadvisory.com.
And just one more time, Hans, you can help students and families across the country, correct?
I can. I work with students. I was talking to a family this morning from Boise, Idaho. And the beautiful thing, Kevin, I set out 10 years ago, and I said, I want to do this work, and I want to be able to help out the people in Boise, Idaho, because they have just as much a right to a successful and happy and satisfactory life as anybody else. So it just so happens I've hooked up with a wonderful family there, and I was just talking with them this morning. So, yes, I work with people in Washington State, Arizona, Florida, all throughout the Northeast, of course, and Canada as well. And Europe as well. I've got some clients over in Europe, Kevin.
Awesome. Hans, appreciate you taking the time of the day to come on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Okay. Hey, you bet, Kevin. I appreciate it as well. Thank you.